Now, you might have noticed that we have been through a little bit of turbulence over the course of the last couple of weeks. We've been increasingly concerned about the behaviour of one of our members of Parliament. And when we found out that some serious complaints had gone in, we thought, you know what, let's just suspend the whip and let's find out what the truth is. And we will wait. First, we will get the report from the independent King's Counsel, who's been appointed. I don't know exactly when that's going to be, but some anticipation that it might happen during the course of this week. And later on, perhaps it'll take some time, we'll hear from the relevant parliamentary committee too. Has it caused some consternation? Of course it has. Any argument that seemed to happen within the family does. But I can promise you that in terms of our progress and our planning, that upset is very much at the edges. Today I'm going to show you the extent to which we are broadening and deepening the party across the country. And there's one thing that today will show you is that the last 2 weeks we've not been obsessing about what's being written in the papers or being said online. We've been getting on with the job. But I do want to say one thing. Some of the online abuse and frankly outright over racism that has been showed against a senior member of this party, had it been shown towards any other member of the ethnic minorities from the Labour and Conservative parties, every one of you in the journalistic arena in this room would have been in total and absolute uproar. It would have been a major national story. But because it's happening to us, no one seems to really care, with the honourable exception of Danny Finkelstein in the Times. I've never really agreed with anything in the past Danny's ever written, but on this he showed himself to be fair and to be decent. Anyway, we are big enough and ugly enough to take it, and we are cracking on. There is a great sense of energy and optimism out there in the country. In fact, Saturday just gone saw campaigning from a by-election taking place in Glasgow to all the candidates being out in Doncaster and in many other parts of the country. But one of the things that we lack in reform is experience. A lot of our people that have become part of the 400 branches that we've set up that Zia mentioned, a lot of them have never been in politics before. We need some old lags.
Good afternoon all, it's great to be here. I am the second longest leader in the history of Ribble Valley Council, a council that delivered great success for its residents. But yesterday I resigned from the Conservative Party and today I join Reform. And I will be standing for Reform in the Lancashire County Council elections on the 1st of May this year. And the reason is that Reform's vision for growth, prosperity and safety for all Britons is what the country needs. Reform is the only party that can save the country. And to paraphrase Edmund Burke, all it takes for bad things to prevail is for good men and women to do nothing. And that's the reason why I make this decision for the greater good. And like so many others, I feel betrayed by decades of broken promises. Tory MPs, ministers and Prime Ministers have failed over the last 14 years. The Conservative parliamentary has been found out. It's a party of power and privilege and not about service. And they are spiralling into oblivion. The only way we can beat Labour is to vote Reform. And Labour and Conservatives have morphed into one. They have become the same thing. High immigration, high taxes and high energy bills. They've let patriots like me and the rest of the country down. They are the globalist uni-party. The only way to ensure we beat Labour is uniting behind Reform. all with a shared vision, making sure the United Kingdom is sovereign, prosperous and independent nation that we all know it can be. For too long, British politics has been dominated by self-interest and failed promises. Only reform will bring the common sense and trust back to politics, prioritising residents in everything we do. Reform UK, a party that truly believes in restoring the Great Britain many of us grew up in. And preferring for government in 2029, we need to be ready at all levels. I know how much waste happens in councils across the country. And when we're elected, we're going to go through line by line. And if it does not benefit residents, it will be reduced or removed. And that money will be put into potholes. We'll have the best roads we've had in a generation. And we'll open our tips for when people need to use them, and they won't need a permit. We're going to put people first. But only reform can fix this. Years of mismanagement by successive Labour and councils have allowed officers to become transfixed by their own institutional beliefs. And we need leadership. We need leadership at council level. And finally, if I may finish, I am proud to announce my decision to join the party that truly puts the people first. There will be many more to make this transition. Together, we can set our county councils on a path to success and fight local government reorganisation, win seats up and down the country and help share a brighter future for the entire United Kingdom and our children. Thank you.
And I'm also going to ask for a few words from Cllr Asker. Heather, please.
Thank you, Nigel, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I've been a town and district councillor for Saffron Walden and Uttlesford District Council in glorious northwest Essex, proudly representing the area that I love to call home for the last 17 years. I know that speaking with family, friends and neighbours, that residents want to be heard and represented at all levels of government by those that live side by side with them and experience the same issues as them on a daily basis, good and bad. However, those same people do not feel that's the case and believe they're being let down by the established parties. I believe that there is an appetite for real change in politics. Residents have been crying out for an alternative to those parties that have let so many of us down. Now there is the Reform UK party. I'm proud to say that today I have now joined Reform UK, as I strongly believe its positive, fresh, forward-thinking, looking vision for the future is for us all. Only Reform, led by Nigel Farage, believes in talking up Britain and not talking it down.